Live from the East Lansing Underground. This is 88.9 bringing you The Basement. I'm Liv.
And I'm Griffin.
And this is our last basement of the semester. We are super bittersweet. It's happy because we've been really proud of all the artists we've been able to bring to you guys this semester. And it's sad because we want to keep going forever. But if there's any note to end it on, it is this one. We're super excited about the act that we have in studio with us today. One, Jordan Hamilton.
What's up?
Thank you so much for joining us. If we want to roll right into the first song and our folks can get a feel for what you have to show tonight.
Fire. I do a cover song to give you all some perspective. Compare me to another artist from way back in the day. I see trails of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and you. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Oh, oh. I see skies of blue, bright clouds too, bright sunny days, those dark sacred nights. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also in the faces of people walking by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. I hear babies cry, watch them grow old. They'll learn much more than I'll ever know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Yeah, I think to myself, yeah, what a wonderful world. What a wonderful, what a wonderful, wonderful world. What a wonderful.
Once again, you're listening to Jordan Hamilton. That was surreal. That was, wow, you really sucked me in. That was beautiful. Would you like to let the audience know what's this angelic instrument you have in your hand with you right now?
This is a cello.
Okay.
Yeah.
And have you always played the cello?
Yes.
Have you?
Always since I was 8.
Yeah. So where did you begin in the world of music, Jordan?
I grew up in Maryland,
Okay.
and I was introduced to the violin, viola, cello in the 2nd grade from my teacher named Miss Thomas. Rest in peace. She presented the violin, viola, cello, bass, and then I heard the cello, the story goes, and I jumped up in the classroom. I was like, I want to play cello, running back and forth, and I'm still playing cello. So,
What made your heart so set on the cello at such a young age?
yeah, I have no clue what made me interested then, but I always say there's like a story of breadcrumbs. So it was the
Okay.
school field trips, and then it was Bach, and then it was me going to a certain high school with my friends, and then it was me having the experience of like competition or like mastering myself or a skill that I have, and then it was travel. So little breadcrumbs here, then self-expression. Yep.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
We got to talk about it a little bit before we went on air today, as we were loading in, and you have very extensive classical training in this instrument,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I studied at, so I started elementary school, middle school, high school. Then I was going to after school programs with like orchestra. I would go and study all summer. I got into a program at the Kennedy Center, and I was going to study with some professional cellists every week, and I would watch the NSO rehearse every week. And so I would have very extensive training, learning how to play classical pieces or in the orchestra. So I was set to be an orchestra musician.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
And then you said you grew up in Maryland?
Yeah,
What city?
the DMV, so
Okay.
Prince George's County near DC and
Okay.
all that stuff.
So Delaware, Maryland, and Virginia?
No,
Is that what it means?
DC, Maryland, and Virginia.
Oh, I was
It's
close.
kind of like the Beltway here, but Delaware's there, Baltimore's there, but Baltimore's not in the DMV. So the DMV is everything that's surrounding DC, and it includes Virginia, Maryland, and DC.
Well, thank you. Yeah. So has the DMV influenced you growing up and with
Yeah.
your sound?
A
And
ton. Yeah.
tell us about it.
Oh, yes. I mean, that's one of the reasons I needed to feel, or I felt a strong calling to explore cello outside of classical music, because I left for undergrad in Ohio. And I was just chilling in Ohio, practicing like 6 hours a day. And, after 2 years of that, I got depressed. And I was like, yo, I miss home. I miss the sounds from home, sounds that were coming from my house, sounds that are coming from the cars passing on the street. And I need to feel like I can play that music on the instrument that I feel so close to self-expression. So go-go music is very big in DC, but growing up in my house, I heard a lot of influence from Bobby McFerrin, Paul McCartney. Not Paul McCartney. I didn't listen to the Beatles. I had no clue who the Beatles were until undergrad. That's another story. But who was I trying to say? Bobby McFerrin, Sly from the Family Stone, The Temptations, Parliament Funkadelic, Miles Davis, Quincy Jones.
This
all
is
of
a
these
great
people.
starting point. You have like years on me and my musical taste and progression, if that's where
Yeah.
you're starting from.
Yeah. This is like, growing up in the house, this is what I was hearing all the time. But then when I went to Ohio, I just didn't hear any of that. So sad.
So it was taken away from you from when you went to school?
Kind of, I ran from it
Oh.
to run towards something else, and then figure it out. I left this great thing behind. So I'm always just kind of trying to run back to it in a way, but bring everything that I gained over here. It's a slow battle.
So, for the context of the listeners, we started over with all of this really rich, soulful music, and you transfer in your life to a lot of really classical pieces. And then we come to where you're at today. So, if our listeners aren't familiar, it's a very different sound from all of these bits and pieces.
Swear.
How did we get to what you're making right now? And then,
Yeah.
then maybe we can get a little bit of your own work so people know how lucky we are to have you in the studio today.
Well, I'm happy to be here. First of all, congrats on the end of the year that you all are experiencing.
Thank you.
That's not easy. And thank you all for having me and being present, listening to my music. I appreciate it. Setting up all this stuff is great.
You're the grand finale.
Oh, that's an honor too. So I love that. And it's more so I got into this journey to try and connect and like make music that connects me with like minds. And I started writing music a couple of years after I moved to Kalamazoo, went to grad school up at Western Michigan University. One of your rivals, I guess. I don't know. But I went on the pretense that I would have some time to be able to explore what I wanted the cello to do outside of classical music. So whether it be writing or being a side person in another band, my teacher was like, okay, he gave me some room to explore during my studies, which was I'm very appreciative of Bruce Uchimore. And I did that for like 2 years. And then in that third year, me being here, like 2017, I released my first song, or I wrote my first song, released my first song. And then I started playing like a little bit later in that year. So that journey came after I played with a band called Last Gasp Collective for 2 years, a hip-hop soul band from Kalamazoo. And then I was playing with some artists named Seth Bernard. Who else was I playing extensively with? I was playing a lot with Eli Khan, I think, from After Hours. Sasquatch from Sasquatch and Bridge Band. And then I connected with someone named Lasso. So I was connecting with a lot of artists, and then I decided to find my own sound. So that's how that experience started. It started from just like one loop pedal too.
Nice.
Yeah.
You seem like the type of one to be connected with the universe, or very or have a spiritual you give that you have a spiritual presence. Do you want to tell us a little bit about your song Mars and like I want to get to know what the song's all about.
I just laughed because it's funny you said it, because I dropped out of school for 1 year while I was in Michigan to kind of focus on my spiritual studies.
Okay.
I was taking online. It was a wild experience. But correct.
That's wonderful.
I'm honored you picked that up. And Mars is off of the second EP that I released. The first series of music I released, the first was Better Days, and then I released 3 EPs that I knew were going to be kind of together, but I wanted to do them step by step. And the whole sentence is, for Renland, my thoughts are, originally it was of this world, not from this world. So it's funny you said spiritual, but I changed it to vibrations. So for Renland, my thoughts are vibrations. And this one is on My Thoughts Are, which won like a Jammy Award, which is a Southwest Michigan like Grammy type thing. And Mars is from that song, and it's a love song that I was writing in my house. And I just had these chords going. You can hear this. And I was chilling with my friend Michael Richardson, the pilot. Shout out to him. And we were just chilling, and I was like, I was just playing these chords, we were just talking, and then he was like, what is that? I was like, I don't know, some chords. He was like, should I write to it? And he was like, yeah, you need to write to that. And so I was like, I've just been thinking of this line. I woke up and brushed my teeth this morning. Why don't I think about this? I said that. I kept saying, I woke up and brushed my teeth this morning. I'm going. And then he said, dang him out you. And I'm like, oh, that's it. So I wrote that song off of that. It's a love song.
And what's his name?
Michael Richardson.
Well, shout out to Michael Richardson. Now, I'm very eager to see what Mars is all about. So why don't you launch us up into the atmosphere with Mars?
this morning, thinking about you and all the things you do. I made my breakfast with eggs, no sausage, thinking about you. I must be a fool, cause I walked out the door with keys, no wallet, thinking about you, my boo. So I had to make this call to tell you I was thinking about you, and it must be true that I don't know where you come from, but they say girls come from Mars, and I don't know where you come from, girl. No, but they say girls come from Mars, so Mars must be heaven then. You're heaven sent, and girl, you're not too far from innocent. But innocence, you know more about the world, so call it rain. For energy that you give to me, another's every day, eating sweet ways, or call it to rain. I hope that the cycle is complete. Give and take, I hope we get what you need, so you'll see the world ain't your oyster and I ain't your bird. That's why I call you my girl. You're more complete than centuries and analogies. I hope that this feeling will never freeze, so you'll believe my body is worthy to go on a journey through space with no hurry. Mars is the name, heaven is the body, and if you are from Mars, go on to Mars. Somebody put me on that spaceship. Somebody put me on that spaceship. And somebody put me on that spaceship. Somebody put me on that spaceship, yeah. Somebody put me on that spaceship. If Mars is an name, heaven is the body, and if you are from Mars, somebody put me on that spaceship.
That was beautiful.
Flawless.
It's so flooring every time. I know we're 2 songs in, but it's so incredible to watch one person making all of this music with just so much depth. It's so rich, which, once again, we're a radio show, so most of our viewers, if they're listening real time, don't get to see what's happening. If you want to, we have a Twitch stream up, so you should definitely tune in.
Fire.
But can you talk us through a little bit what your setup looks like and how you use it to make these songs real time in front of us?
So the main thing that I have that's like making these songs possible is my looper. Now there's a lot of levels that you can go to looping. There's some incredible loopers out there, but I just use like a 1-channel ditto looper, and I have 2 of those. So one of them is just getting my cello, and one of them is getting my drums and my cello. And my drums come from my MPC machine, which I do some production on as well. So I'm making songs in here, and then I'm using it to play live. But I have the cello going through a little patch, like my octave pedal, and then I have it going through a chorus and a reverb pedal. as long as that, and that looper. Then I have it going into a volume with my drums, and then that's going through another looper and then a delay. So that's how I'm able to get some of these delays on the loops, right? Because the delay looper is right outside after my diddle looper, where I do most of my main loops. And then that's it. And then my cello. So it's kind of like simple. It looks complicated, but it's simple. If you talk to a looper, it's like, whoa, only with that.
Does your cello have a name?
This cello
Yeah.
is called Rad C.
Oh, tell us about Rad C.
Yeah, Rad C was made by a company named Rad, R-A-A-D, and it was in Canada in the 90s.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and the more and more I'm finding out about this cello, the more and more I know I'm not supposed to have this cello. And I prefer not to talk about it too much on the airwaves.
Of course.
But like this cello is not even, it's never went into full production, so it's kind of rare.
So is it like they were testing out a product, trying to make it, and it
Yeah.
never actually got...
It went through a bunch of legal battles. And yeah.
So it's truly a unique experience we're getting today.
Swear.
But I assume you have a few in your collection at this point.
No, well, I have a few cellos. Like I have my
Yeah.
acoustic cello, I have this cello, and I have another electric cello, which I don't use that one. I'm gonna give it to Michael, the person who helped, or who I was with when I was writing Mars.
Now, when you are writing, this is a question I always have to ask, but it's so important. What does your creative process look like? When are you in the best mindset to create artwork and get your cello out? Independently.
Right, yeah, when I have space to breathe and my mind has space to be peaceful, I find that creation is natural. I can force myself to be creative from like a work standpoint, right? Force myself in that zone, but naturally, like when I'm just relaxed and don't really have too many stresses from life, I just naturally like want to go to my cello and figure some things out. Like COVID was such a, oh my gosh. I mean, now that was a stressful time, right? But after a while, shut my phone down, all these things, and I was just outside all the time, and I would come inside and just work on music.
Yeah, COVID was a great time to be an artist, I would say.
I guess so.
I feel like almost every artist that has came on the show so far has said, like, yeah, COVID was a great time for me because I just was locked in and ready.
Yeah, and I feel sorry for saying it because, I mean, I know people was out there just going through it, and so shout out to y'all for making my life great during that year.
Now, it seems like you make a lot of other people's lives great. I noticed when you're in Traverse, you worked for the Traverse City Dance Project.
Oh, good catch.
You wrote some music for them and choreographed. No, you didn't choreograph, but you made music for their dance.
Nah, I choreographed.
Oh,
no, I'm joking. I'm joking.
That'd be cool. Tell us about that process and what it takes to,
So fire. Yeah, I love working with dancers. I love working with ballet dancers, too. They're one of the most intense people on the planet. You know what I'm saying? They have such a high demand on their body and have such photographic memories. Like, they remember everything. They learn these dances in, like, a couple of days. And then they dance them for the next couple of months. It's insane. They're, like... They have the body coordination of really high-paid athletes, but they get none of the same type of respect. They're incredible athletes, amazing artists, so I love working with, like, ballet dancers. If you ever get a chance to check out a ballet, you should just go. The choreography, like, the art in it, like, I really resonate with how it can represent sounds and represent music. So I love writing for it because I like seeing just what comes out of a dancer's mind and what they feel like they can move to it. So Traverse City Dance Project, they reached out to me maybe 3 years ago via the Accidentals, and they asked if I wanted to write some music for it. I was like, heck yeah. And basically what happens is they pair it with a choreographer through the Nouveau Scholarship or Nouveau Grant. and that choreographer picks some of the music or gives me an idea. We've done it 3 different ways so far. The first time, the choreographer gave me concepts, gave me ideas, and then we just wrote the music based on those ideas and those concepts. And I was doing that with the lasso. And so we just started from a blank slate, just making some random things. She wanted like chaos. Kara is who it was. She wanted like chaos or calm. And then she wanted to show something like the world is on fire. And I want to let people know, but I also want them to be at peace with it. And so we did that. Like, we showed like waters rising high. We showed like fires, forest fires, and all these other things. It was really cool. That was such a great, and there's artists from all around the world that come, dancers from all around the world that come, like top level dancers. So they learned all of this stuff in just like 3 days. Wow. And then we went out and we performed it outside on pop-up stages. Like, they would just move a stage from place to place, and these dancers would dance to these pieces that we were playing live outside.
In Traverse City?
In all the places in northern Michigan.
Wow.
It's incredible.
Wow.
I try and tell people, but I can't really explain it that well, because the experience is such a high quality experience. But I don't know. It's like, no, we wrote this music and we're playing it live, and the dancers are dancing to it live each time, and it's a little bit different each time. And then you're outside, soaking in the sun and the breeze and the trees. And if you haven't been to northern Michigan, it's beautiful. Mm-hmm. So you could go to like the beaches before, and we play some music, and then after, just go have a little drink on the beach or just kick it around the trees, go for a walk or something. It's amazing. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's the Traverse City Dance Project.
And was there a media team? Where can we find a video of this, of the dances?
So it's hard to capture video, like the essence of the dance on video.
Oh, okay. So
you can catch some videos on like online. I'm sure they have some ones that's just from one vantage point.
Right.
Traverse City Dance Project, maybe on YouTube or their website or their Instagram, Traverse City Dance Project or TCDP. You can find it, and they do. Yeah, but we're gonna shoot some video, I think, this year from like vantage point dances. And this year, Jennifer is going to be one of the founders of Traverse City Dance Project. She's the choreographer this year, and she heard some music from my album, and she's going to choreograph to those songs. So, and then last year, he just wanted me to write some music, some sad music. Mm-hmm. And I wrote sad music, and he choreographed to it. But he was like improvising his choreography. So he was hearing, he didn't think about it beforehand. He was just like kind of going as he was hearing the music, and he was teaching it to the dancers, which was incredible to see. And I was like, wow. So it's wild. But yeah, now this year she's going to choreograph some stuff to some songs that are going to be coming out soon. Yeah.
And then this was in the past year?
Those are the last 3 years. My summers had participation with Traverse City Dance Project.
Do you want to tell us a little bit about Past Year, the song?
Oh, yeah. Past Year. No, yeah. Oh, yeah. I thought you were talking about Past Year. Was it this? No, Past Year is just from an old song. Past Year is a song that I wrote for my brother. And that was on the album that I've released, or EP that I released last year called Believin'. And they're not dancing to this, but yeah, Past Year. It's kind of a song just to kind of remind people that, or just people that I care about, but just anybody, that times are getting rough and you have people that believe in you. So the people that know me, this song is dedicated to them when they're going through a rough time. But if you have people that you love, you can dedicate this song to them when they're going through a rough time. Because I know COVID and all that stuff was a hard time for them. So I wrote it the year after COVID. Okay. Past year. Right.
Well, let's hear it. Jordan Hamilton.
What do we do? that you witnessing bluesy days, trauma to follow from hella ways, filled up with problems and all of the solemn. I know that you suffer that front of eight, know that you fighting for better days, searching on all of the ways, trying to make up for the past, yeah, trying to make up for the past, yeah. Know it seems so easy to make move on your own. When you get there, ain't no tribe, then alone is the throne. Know that you come from the pearly gates, all of the scholars and all the saints, they could pay the way, and it's all okay, and it's all okay, it'll be okay, yeah, you gon' get there, my bro. Shots fired, showdown, yeah, you gon' get there, my bro. Shots fired, showdown. Take a chance, it's feeling fine, but soon feeling great. Flying high when you pulling weight. Summer fall when you pulling gate. All ain't found in a hollow nation. When you follow things, just to follow things. All around for a better base. Money's fine, but there's better things. Love will find you, little validation. Little tricky with the allocation. Ain't no case for intimidation. Mother time coming for all, yay. Hope you know bouncing you fall, yay. No points or eyes on the ball, yay. I still love you out the remote. Hope you present it now for sure. Know it's crazy, but know your hope. Know your hope, I know you'll get there, my bro. Shots